Okay, Aoife, you've just got back from celebrating Star Wars, and the trailer that's come out for Battlefront looks extremely impressive, and it's supposed to be in-engine footage. But you've seen a bit of gameplay as well, right? Does it actually match up to that?
The gameplay does look impressive, right? And I think like that's why everyone, as soon as that trailer came out, they were like, okay, in-engine doesn't really mean the same as gameplay. It's not indicative. But so the demo that we saw was it took place on Endor, so kind of similar to how that trailer starts.
Sure, with the speeders.
Yeah, it really does look beautiful. What they use is a process called photogrammetry, which is the same thing that was used in The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and the DICE team were given access to the entire Lucasfilm archive, which is pretty amazing. And so they just took hundreds and hundreds of photos of loads of props, and then like sort of collated all those photos together to create the most realistic assets that they possibly could. So it does look pretty amazing, and they went to like all these different locations. I can't remember where Endor is on planet Earth, but yeah, it just looks incredible.
Cool. So the demo that you saw was hands off, so presumably it was like one person playing it and like talking you through it.
So the thing is, the demo wasn't live. And it was one of those heavily scripted demos where, so it starts off and it's a bunch of rebels going through the Endor, and then there's like someone shouts out, speed bikes, and like one just zooms past the group. Right, okay. Yeah, this sounds scripted. It's super scripted. So all these stormtroopers start coming out of the forest, and like, so they run past this Ewok village, and it looks cool. I mean, there's a stormtrooper up on the the Ewok village, you know, on those like sort of platforms that they have, shooting from down below. And then obviously all the sort of the vehicles start getting involved. And then there's one point where they're running underneath the legs of the AT-AT. Cool. And yeah, I mean, it looks incredible, but you know how you just know when people are actually playing that game. Sure. That's just not how it's gonna look. Yeah. So how did they actually show that to you? Like in terms of the camera, was it from the perspective of one of the players, or like overhead? Okay, cool. Yeah, it started off. I mean, so the thing that everyone kind of wondered before anything was seen in this game is whether it was going to be first or third person. Turns out it's both. It's both. Yeah, they started off the demo in first person, and then it was kind of like a reveal. Oh, look, you know, and then it's sort of like one button press, and it was in third person. So it's good to know that we have that sort of choice. Was that from the perspective of like one of the rebel soldiers, right? Yes. With presumably like a rifle or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they were using like a kind of a blaster rifle or whatever. There were a couple of different weapons used. So there were like force shields and stuff like that, and rocket launchers, which whenever I spoke to Patrick Bach was like, you know, we've never seen rocket launchers in this world before, but obviously they've been there. Sure. But this is the kind of and then a couple of the other players were using jetpacks, although the player character never actually used one. But I imagine that's kind of going to work on some sort of a cooldown mechanic. Do you see anything of the Jedi and or Sith kind of elements of that? Did they turn up in the demo at all? Darth Vader turns up at the very, very end. As he does. As he always does. The whole point of this assault was to get to like an Imperial bunker. Mm-hmm. And once you do, so you're running around corners, and then your ally is kind of like a little bit ahead of you. And all of a sudden they lift off the ground. Obviously they're getting like force choked, and like they slam into a wall, and you hear like the... You hear the sort of iconic breathing, and then you turn a corner and Darth Vader is just walking towards you, and like the player fires off a couple of shots, and obviously he's got his lightsaber, so he just This sounds more like a trailer for one of the films than it really does, doesn't it? Like a cinematic moment like that at the end. Yeah, but so we didn't. I mean, once you do that, the screen cuts to black, and that was the end of the demo. So we didn't really see how he plays or how even that'll work. I mean, I asked in the interview, you know, like, so what's the deal with it? So in the trailer you can see Boba Fett as well, and you can see like the Millennium Falcon, so there obviously will be hero characters to control.
Did they talk about whether they're more powerful than like one of these rebel soldiers with a rifle?
Well, you'd imagine so, wouldn't you? And I think how it's going to work is either like there's going to be like these power-ups that you can, you know, around the battlefield that you can pick up, or I'd imagine it'd be like, you know, the best player, however that sort of transpires, can respawn as one of these heroes. But
okay, cool. Yeah, so they do need to limit the numbers of that somehow, otherwise it's going to be like
you're not going to have
Darth
like
Vaders.
Yeah, you're not going to have like 40 Darth Vaders running around the map, I'd imagine. But I'd say that's how that's going to work. But they're definitely going to be more powerful, right? I mean, you can't have a lightsaber and have all these other abilities and not be badass. But
sure. It's hard to know what to take away from that. It seems like a nice companion to see next to the trailer, but it's obviously
that's the thing, you know,
a scripted thing that you've had to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely along the right lines, but without having seen any of the vehicle stuff, you know, which obviously they're really hinging this entire experience on, and without seeing or playing anything, I can't get excited about it yet, because we really haven't seen all that much.
Was there anything in the hands-off demo that people won't have seen in the trailer itself? Like, is there any specific features or like cool stuff that happened that you weren't expecting? Obviously, you saw the first and third person cameras and whatever, but
yeah, the only thing that I saw that I thought was interesting, and I actually tried to get DICE to talk about it, but they wouldn't, was so obviously when you're shooting enemy characters, you can like little kill streak notifications pop up, but I also noticed that there was a nemesis bonus pop up, and I'm not sure what that means. So whether you like it's like the character that killed you most, or you know, there's sort of like some sort of thing that you can I don't know, like a feature that you have like certain players that become your nemesis. Don't know.
Right, sure.
The other thing is that there's a new partner feature, so like you can sort of buddy up with another player that you're expecting to play this game a lot with, and you can share gear, so you can gift them with stuff, or you can help sort of boost them up. So if you're playing this game for a while and they just only get it, then you can help get them up to your level quicker, and you can like respawn in the same location so that you can play together more easily, which is cool. I don't know how much people will use it, but if you've got mates playing this game, it might be handy.
Yeah, cool. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait till we actually go hands-on. The game's coming out in November, which sounds like an amazing time for that game to launch, by the way.
Right?
But hopefully we'll have something a little bit more concrete before then.
You would hope so.
It looks nice so far. I don't know how much of it's real, but I like it.
I do like it. I hope it's going to be good. But yeah, I just think, you know, until we see anything, there's no point getting excited.
All right, fair enough. You realist, you. Cheers, Eva.
Thanks.
Chewie, we're home.
I don't really understand the physics of the situation there.
Oh wow!
I've added some filters here.
It.
That's
Is
what
this
people
some
do.
kind of Generation Y thing?
I think it might be.
Okay.